What is time even, if not well spent? If not spent truly through you? It's never too late. It's never too late. And those thoughts that kind of construe. When you start to symbiote, when you start to synchronize yourself with your source, when things start to make more sense to you, whether it is or was or is continuing to be more succinct with who you are. I've been recognizing this, like the act of acknowledging how regret can easily turn into shame, and pride can easily hold you back from progress, right? Because you never know when you're gonna fucking leave this earth, so why not live every moment, every day, every second more aligned with you? Boundaries, keeping yourself in a space, maintaining that space where you can just safely be yourself, as well as just allow things to be, releasing control, sharing your words with others. How important that is. I've been hearing this thing time and time and time and time and time and time again. It's like this concept of why do it now when you could have done it earlier. It's like I didn't know as well as I do now, right? And I was speaking to a few people actually these last few days, and even just the span of these last few months. The construct of time. When you do things so shittily in the past in a shitty manner, like you start to demean others or diminish someone else's experience as well as your own, to the point where you kind of quote unquote learn a lesson, right? And then you change your behavior. Isn't that how it is though? Where you regret things and you change your ways because you don't wish to live that way anymore. The construct of time. It construes things. It's like, who cares when you do it? Who fucking cares? But some people care. It's like, bro, whatever. Hello, collective. It's Kai. At 1 in the morning of July 16th, 2025. Wednesday. The day ruled by Mercury. And I feel that like a part of me has been tapping into doing different things, dreaming bigger and more, allowing myself to feel a different level of myself where I dress the pain or the insecurity. Seeing how it's silly. It's so fucking silly. And yet at the same time it makes sense. I'm still learning. I'm still learning what it feels like and looks like and behaves like to interact with people that are truly aligned with me, but also just in my alignment. You know what I mean? Where people come into your life and you're just like it's not even like what's the reason? It's literally like, damn. I'm still like, there are instances where like I'm still learning through these connections. And then there's other times where I'm like, damn, I don't even know what the fuck is happening. And then there's other times where I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm kind of outgrowing this way of interacting with someone, and then other times it's like there's just like a multiplicity of like all these different ways to be. And when I come to these videos, my mind gets in the way of it. That's why I fucking record this shit at like 1 in the morning, because I'm literally like procrastinating and putting it off. And not even procrastination is not even a fucking good of a word to describe what I go through. Or that's just not the way I would describe it. I feel myself relax in such a different way, where I'm like actually doing all the things that I enjoy. Reading new articles. I'm developing a website right now, which is so much fucking work, and I'm not even doing the coding part of it. Thank God, by the way. Thank God. Seriously. When my ex was like doing coding, I'd be like, what the fuck is all this shit? It's literally me. Which is funny because I have such a nice relationship with numbers because of angel numbers, but like gambling, coding, those things I very well intentionally stay away from. Regardless, I was crying, and I feel that such a release and such a relief to be able to feel. I've met some people in my life, throughout my life, that have thoroughly showed me they're not open to feeling what I feel. And it's interesting because it's like, who knows what the future may hold, but like in those instances, right? That too is a valid experience. And it kind of blows my mind too, like the fact that I live and think this way, because it's all about giving grace not only to others but truly to myself. The reason why I have such a strong belief that we're all capable of change is because I intentionally decided to do this for myself too. I lived in this period of my life where I, in hindsight, recognized what a shitty person I truly was. And I don't mean this like to put myself down. I mean this in literally seeing myself clearly. In a sense of treating others in such a dehumanizing way. And lately I've been receiving the karma for that. Having someone treat me in the way that I used to treat people. It's funny because it's like, I'm not seeing this person's actions in a way where it's like, oh, it's exactly how I feel or what I felt, right? But it's like also to say that there is a nuance of pain. There is a pain present. And it's kind of like almost a paradox that I recognize, in a sense of like, it's not that I like quote unquote deserve to be treated like this, you know what I mean? Like, not to like victim mentality myself, but to actually see it in a sense of like, I am now understanding what it feels like truly to be on the receiving end. And that's why I have so much faith in the universe and the way that this like life has unfolded, is because that has been shown to me time and time again. I meet people who show me what it truly feels like to be like thoroughly loved and embraced. And then I meet people who really treat me like I don't even fucking exist or matter. Or like even like objectify me, you know, like treat me like I'm a tool. And it's so interesting because it's like, that's also just based on my own perception. It's not even like correlated. Well, it could be because, you know, like in some cases I've had actual conversation with these like people, but in its own right, like not listening to what other people say or think or believe is just as important, simply because of having that space to listen, to believe, to understand, to validate your own experience. So I was talking to my mom, and like being able to talk about it is so important, as well as like journaling, or even like different methods of regulating yourself, whether it's deep breathing or drawing, even, you know, like art. And I found myself in this space of like really, really just seeing me, you know, like seeing how clearly I can live through this like invocation, you know, like I evoke this energy by maintaining that redirect, you know, like redirecting, calling myself back to me. And it's just so interesting because of like that reality that I used to live where it I was also a child, right? So it's like having the lack of that foundation, but like being able to have this foundation now where it's like I come back home to myself, I regulate myself, I accept and am receptive to other people's help. And even then, like letting the perception, the unknown of other people's perspective to be that, the unknown. I don't need to know everything, you know? And simultaneously still being inquisitive and curious and trying, making an effort to do better, you know? And I recently was reflecting on how I treat people, and it's like I really do enjoy when people ask me questions. So it came back to me in a sense of like the reflection in my own inquisitions, you know? I don't think that's the right word, but whatever. Like actually asking questions. And I have to be true to me, as well as like the importance of small talk. You know, and small talk is like just gleaming the surface level of things. But if you don't have the space for that, that's so valid. I've been recognizing that I have more of the space for small talk than I thought that I ever could. And it's funny because I was talking to someone today at work and she was sharing me these things because these cute little fucking kids came in, these twins, and like I just thought they were the most like adorable thing because they kept looking at me. Like they just like the big beady eyes when the kids look at you like expecting things or something. Like it's so cute. It's so cute to me. And it's funny that like I would look at adults in such a different manner when in reality it's like we're just opening ourselves up, becoming more aware, tuning in, and asking for like a confirmation from other people who are in our vicinity. And such an important thing in childcare is like building trust with kids is like a give and take. And it's not even like a give and take out of reluctance, but like there's a phrase in Korean which I love. It's called tiki taka. Tiki taka is when you have like banter with someone, in other words. Like you can just bounce off of each other, and that's what is taught, at least when it comes to being licensed in childcare, to bounce off of each other, you know? And it's being receptive, it's being giving, and it's such an interesting thing that like you would grow up in this world and maybe you experience this, maybe you don't. Once again, disclaimer, like I'm just sharing my own experience, so please understand I'm not trying to say that this is for everyone or not, so use your discernment when you're consuming my content. And it's like to look at the way that even as adults sometimes we look around ourselves and like in our direct vicinity, do we have that like security and almost, I guess you could say, loyalty, but it's more of like a bond. It's truly just like building a bond. And I find that to be such an interesting thing, is that we think, or at least from what I've seen sometimes, is like adults treat other adults as if we've never fucking been children before. And I say this in a sense of like not allowing us to make mistakes, or treating someone so harshly as if that other person doesn't experience pain, and still even painting the quote-unquote bully as just that, when in reality there's definitely like there's a reason. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. And now that I fucking say that, it literally just dawned on me. Never judge a book by its cover. Seriously. Holy fuck, like I'm not even gonna go into that because truly, think what you must, think what you may, because perception is one thing, but being open to perspective can change your whole fucking world. I promise you. Because, wow, literally me saying that, I was like, damn, it's really not that personal. It's really not that personal. And it's funny because even as I continue to bond with someone, literally insecurities are coming up, you know? And I'm recognizing like, this is a moment where a new experience can happen because I can provide more support for myself as well as allow myself some grace and also release past experiences that are still like subconsciously coming up, you know? Such an interesting thing, this life. I feel like this is why I do YouTube, because like there's like endless discoveries. Whether it's repeated things that are more developed and advanced in its own ways, in its own right, or even like a tower moment where things just crumble away and I start from square one. It's like whatever it may be. Today my dad actually got me this probiotic thing, so I'm looking forward to trying it out. Also, you guys, I am finally trying, I've been wanting to try natural, so I'm doing this honey tallow. So it's grass-fed beef tallow, Italian olive oil, beeswax, raw honey, and essential oils. And I'm trying it out, and I feel like my face is getting a lot better. Also, seriously though, like natural all the way. Like, and I do believe that the placebo effect does promote this as well. Energy is so fucking real. So yeah, I'm really like glad that it's working, because this fucking hormonal acne was stressing me out, and I was literally looking at this old photo of me from like I think 2022, and like I literally looked at my skin, it was all clear, and I was like, damn, that looks unfamiliar, and that's crazy. So that's also a new experience too, like experiencing acne and learning to how I am affected by that, not how others are affected by it. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. I'm not going to LA tomorrow. I'm kind of glad, because I have to do my fucking laundry. And my mom's laundry is still in the laundry machine. So hopefully it's empty tomorrow. If not, I'll just bring it up. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for allowing me the space to speak and sharing my own experiences in this life. I hope that you are the best too on the other side of the screen, sending you love and support on your own spiritual journey. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you. And thank you for being alive. Bye, collective.